Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Good to see you, Stacy. My dog is unhappy. My wife just heated up food. My dog smells it. He can't stand when there's any aroma of food in the air. He has to get involved. So the IndyCar race earlier today was really fun. It'll be interesting to see if the Cup, or not the Cup guys, these O'Reilly Auto Parts Series guys can put on a similar show. Dog. Let's take a look at our leaderboard while we're waiting on this race to get underway. Drivers are getting seated, probably about to get the command to start engines, and hopefully we'll see a green flag by 6:53. May take a little longer, we'll see. This is a shorter track, so the pace laps won't take as long as Daytona, Atlanta, or Circuit of the Americas. So Taylor Gray starting up front, Jesse Love second, Brendan Jones third, fourth Anthony Alfredo. It's going to be really important to see him get laps today because he will be in the 48 tomorrow. So we need to see how he does today. Brent Cruz fifth, sixth William Byron, eighth Sammy Smith, 17th Corey Day, 9th Jeb Burton, 10th Kyle Sieg, 11th Harrison Burton, 12th Sam Mayer, Austin Hill 13th, Swallage 18 should be competitive, back in 15th. Oh, we're missing Dawson Cram on our leaderboard. Let's fix that. NASCAR.com live leaderboard. Bro, that was the worst command I've ever heard. I wasn't even paying attention, and that command just depressed me. That was awful. That was awful. Gentlemen, start your engines. Golly, little enthusiasm. Was there a reason? Does he have a disorder or something that he can't yell, he can't like emote? I mean, there has to be some explanation. Was he embarrassed, like nervous? That was wild. Good to see you, Doodlebug. Yeah, I had to pull out the 5 ad. You know, we have three HendrickCars.com cars out. No, we only have 2. Yeah, Byron's in the 88, Corey Day's in the 17. So we have 2 Hendrick cars in the field. Hendrick.com, you know, whatever. Not actual Hendrick car. Only 1 Hendrick car. You guys know what I'm saying. I'm trying to pull up the O'Reilly leaderboard, but it's not populating. Let's go weekend schedule. GOVX 200. It's not letting me navigate. This happens every week. Every week on the NASCAR website. It's a pain to go to the O'Reilly or the Craftsman Truck Series leaderboards. Live leaderboard. Click on it again. It says go. Okay, so it's updated. Thank goodness. Let's go ahead and check in. So this is my reminder. If you're a member of the NASCAR Fan Rewards program, go ahead and check in on your app or on the website. Gain your points for this week. Corey Day. Oh yeah, so who we're looking for? Dawson Crim. Trying to add his number to our leaderboard. There you go here. Inspect. Console sources. I'm looking for cf.nascar.com. Yes. Data/images. Car badges. And he's in the 74. We're gonna add that to the car underscore images folder. It just shifted on me. There it is. All right. I think we have it going now. Dawson Cram, we have his number added. Well done. It's a state with a NASCAR track. A big one. That should narrow it down somewhat. Joey Logano and Blaney so good at Phoenix. No kidding. No kidding. The Penske guys are just insane. And Cindric qualified like second. And Josh Berry, kind of a Penske car, Penske prepared car, qualified 10th. That's super impressive. Berry's like my dark horse pick. Do I think he'll actually win? I don't know if the 21 team is capable of, consistently running well or intentionally running well. They had one good race last year, like one. That was it. But Josh Berry's bread and butter is at short tracks. That's, where he cut his teeth. All right, cars are rolling out on track. Let's go. I'm really excited to see just really, the Cup guys and really NASCAR in general back on just a traditional oval. We had 2 plate races or 2 super speedway style races and Circuit of the Americas. So I'm very excited to see this oval. Yeah, that was not a great playoff run, but I think everyone pretty much expected that after his season. He was only in the playoffs because of the 1 win at Vegas. I think that was where it was. It's wild that they won Vegas on speed and just never replicated it again at all last season. That takes more skill than it does just to win a race in general. Not follow it up with better finishes. 38 cars in the field. Healthy field size today. Almost double the cars that the IndyCar series had. I would not be surprised to see people get restart violations. You see that a lot here. Am I close? Relatively speaking. There's a few tracks I'm near. There's like 4 racetracks that I could drive to comfortably. Yeah, I would say 4 that I can drive to comfortably. Ali Carla's rocking the CW orange. I joined GOVX years ago, long time ago, because I heard from other people, you know, that I was, you know, working with, that they were getting good deals on like Oakley's and different things. So I joined. I didn't really see anything that was like a good deal, a really good deal. So I never ended up buying anything from GOVX, I don't think. I might have bought one thing. John says, anxious to see if the Toyotas are for real or MJ needs to dig deeper in his pocket. That's going to be interesting too, to see how they run. I think Reddit qualified like 8th or something, which is, but like, isn't bad. You definitely want to be in the like front half. You want to show you have speed, but it doesn't really matter as much. It's going to, you know, comes down to your race pace. But yeah, that will be interesting to see whether or not he can get it done. Denny didn't really have a ton of speed in qualifying. So Denny was, you know, one of my potential picks for a good finish. Almost won the fall race, ran well in the spring race. Same for Larson. Larson was in the photo finish of both. In the spring, and then he was just behind the photo finish in the fall. So yeah, some guys all over the place. Busher didn't qualify very well either. Wayne Martin says, let's go Hill. That's a controversial opinion. Not a lot of Austin Hill fans in the chat usually. We're glad to have you, Wayne. You're welcome to be a fan of anybody. So fighting for second and third, I mean, looks like they got close to making contact. Jesse Love and Brandon Jones. That was close. Brent Cruz right behind him. So we have 2 Toyotas towards the front. We have 1 leading. So, I mean, very dominant performance so far, like just, you know, on qualifying speed for the Gibbs guys. 1, 3, and 4. That, and then, you know, William Swalch bringing up the rear in 14. You expect that 18 car to run better. You do. Oh my goodness. Anthony Alfredo way up the track and sideways. They're stacking up behind these guys. My goodness, he almost wrecked it. That would have been a bad look. He's filling in for Alex Bowman tomorrow. Bowman out for vertigo. Jesse Love just set the fastest lap of the race. Our Xfinity fastest lap. Guess that's 28.421. And Jesse Love just set another fastest lap. Even faster that next time by. Jesse Love's, he's working through this. Might challenge Taylor Gray here in a few more laps. Put about a 10th and a half on him that last lap. Allgaier already in the top 10. Allgaier runs really well out here. He's a, you know, a good performer here on the West Coast. I feel like tracks that take more patience, Allgaier really excels at because he has the experience. So especially on long runs, if the car is adequate, he really shows out. We have a 45 lap stage 1 here. Yeah, it is weird seeing Byron out there. Byron in the 88. That's like alternate history. What if Byron replaced Earnhardt instead of Bowman? One crazy alternate history we could have had is if Rick Hendrick listened to Jeff Gordon and hired Kyle Larson. Either Kyle would have washed out quickly and they would have moved on, or he might have like 4 championships by now, because he would have had so much more seat time in that 5 car before the next gen era. And he probably would have won like 7 races in a season for several seasons. Because I mean, he, you know, was really peddling that 42, you know, during any given week. One of my favorite clips of his early era in NASCAR, Chase Elliott's early era in NASCAR, was when they were racing in the All-Star Open and they were door to door the whole way. It was crazy, just beating and banging to the finish. I think Larson beat him at the very end. I love watching guys back in the day beat and bang their way into the All-Star Open, or out of the All-Star Open into the actual All-Star race, but they would have to start the race with a damaged vehicle. It's like, it's great you made the race, but you do not have a good chance to win. So Jesse Love has gotten the lead. Taylor Gray's keeping it close for now. We might be in trouble here. Let's see, where's Austin Hill at? Where's his teammate? 14th? Yeah, Jesse Love in the lead. He's gapping him a little bit already. Almost has it out to half a second now. Wait for our leaderboard to update. Sammy Smith trying to make the pass here on Brent Cruz. Moving up through the field. Allgaier running 9th. Close to making the pass on Carson Qualfa. Looks like he just made the pass. They're dicing it up. So he's about a second back now from Anthony Alfredo, who did not have a good handling car to start this race. Had a great qualifying lap. I think he qualified 4th. And he's been falling back. Back to 7th right now. Anthony Alfredo, it's about a half second back. Now about 4/10ths back from Brent Cruz. And Allgaier is, I think that's a full second back. So he lost some time there. Yeah, Jesse Love is gapped our leader here. Byron's moving up, though, slowly but surely. Not able to match Jesse Love's pace, though. Is that Harrison Burton off the pace? No, it's Nick Sanchez. That Harrison's the 24, right? Yeah, 24. Nick Sanchez there. Off the pace. He's coming down pit road. He has an issue. Sammy Smith up to 4th. He's actually making up some ground here. If he turns like, any better lap, he's going to compete with Byron here for that 3rd place. Looks like Byron is probably going to reel in Taylor Gray here. We'll see how well Byron's car does trying to pass here. But he's getting close. You see him get down to 2/10. That's striking distance. Side by side, Byron has the position. All right, can Byron run down our leader? This is a longer stage if we make it green the whole way. 45 laps. That's a 45-mile stage. And I'm not a fan of stage racing, but it does, make it pretty predictable. If we stay green, how long we're going to be green. Like watching these guys cut the dog leg. Definitely a unique feature of this layout of Phoenix. Back in the day, that this line these guys are running through the corners, that was grass. Phoenix used to be completely different. It was a beautiful little track right there in the middle of the desert. I just remembered I have to go outside real quick. I have the hiccups now. I'm not going to have the hiccups. Not going to do it. I'm better than that. All right, they're gone. I forgot I had a package come in. When I checked after it said it was delivered, I went to the door, it wasn't there. And so I waited like another 10 minutes and it said it was delivered again. I got another notification it was delivered. But I just forgot about it. So Sam Mayer moving up 13 positions so far. Allgaier up 12. Allgaier is now entered our top 5. Taylor Gray has fallen back to 4th. So we had, Toyota dominance up front, relatively speaking, early on, but they have all fallen back. And these Chevys are migrating to the front. Jesse Love, William Byron, Sammy Smith, Allgaier. Byron's not really cutting the time too much. He ran faster on that last lap by. We're looking at We're looking at about 1.6 seconds right now, which is where he's been running. Not really reeling in the leader. But as long as he can keep him close, within about a second and a half, he can still go up and pass him later in the stage if the handling starts to go away. Looking back through the field to see if we have anyone running better lap times than their position shows. Corey Day, 32nd lap on that last one. Not sure what happened there. On the back, Anthony Alfredo from 4th down to 10th. Not a great start to the race for him. I believe the handling's off. We already saw it step out on him once. So he's probably fighting a loose condition, if I had to guess. King is Dead says probably just staying close enough to attack if he needs to. I can see it. It's kind of, you know, somewhat what I'm thinking. Man, seems like one lap Byron will run faster. The next lap Jesse Love runs a little faster. And it's just hovering at 1.6. I'd imagine if Byron makes a change on this car, if he wants a change made, you know, that'll help him advance perhaps. But Jesse Love has the same opportunity. If there's something he doesn't like with his car, they can adjust. So it's going to be hard to run him down. Sammy Smith has really cut his way through this field. If he came out here and won this race on raw pace, just cutting his way through the field like this, I am going to be extremely impressed. Byron's falling back now. Looks like the handling's gone away on that car. From 1.6 seconds back to now 2.2. Not looking great. He has to hold on for 15 more laps. I mean, really the furthest he could fall is probably back to 5th. And that's stretching it. Sammy Smith is running down our leader. All right, how's lap traffic doing? We're running about 30-second laps. So we already have Dawson Cram going down a lap. Austin J. Hill, Mason Maggio also about to go down a lap. That could impact our leader. 3 wide further back. Jeb Burton dicing it up in the top 10. Yeah, sometimes it's better just to, you know, long-term strategy to let somebody by. No reason to slow both of yourselves down fighting over one position. Because, like, let's say Byron holds up Sammy Smith for like 10 more laps, then Allgaier is in striking position already, and he's probably gotten by Byron by this point, so Byron would already be back and forth. He's fallen off about a second just in a few laps, like 4 laps. He may fall back to 5th if he keeps losing time at this rate. Lost 2/10 already. Handling is not great on that 88. It has speed, but not handling. This race is probably going to end under the lights. So, with that said, the temperature of the track is going to drastically change, and that should tighten the cars up. So it's best not to over adjust here. Just make a small enough adjustment to make it through this stage 2, and then maybe by stage 3 your car will start to naturally tighten up and get back to where you really want it. You don't really want to over adjust here and then ruin your car for later in the race. All this for an Austin Hill win. How is he running? He's still 14th. He's hanging in here. We'll see after this stage break if they make some changes to get him up and running with his teammate, or maybe even get a good pit stop. That's one thing to watch out for. This, you know, Phoenix can be more of a track position race, so someone may take a gamble here, or if someone makes a mistake on pit road or makes up just a lot of ground naturally on pit road, we'll have to see. All right, Byron stopped the bleeding somewhat. He's lost 3 tenths since we last looked at him. Right now, a 2. So, not too bad. Allgaier is closing in rapidly. He's going to get by Byron before the end of this stage. And Allgaier needs the points more than Byron does. Byron doesn't get any points for, you know, participating here. Getting rid of your sectional tomorrow. Yeah, they have a really cheap one at BJ's that looks really nice, but I just don't think it's for me. I like a couch and a recliner. I want a recliner. Don't really have the room for it or the layout for it here, but one day I'm gonna have a really cushiony rocking recliner. I'm gonna wear that sucker out. Sammy Smith to the lead. That's crazy. He gained a second. So they hit a rough streak of lap traffic, and Sammy Smith was able to use that lap traffic to his advantage. Now he's jumped out here to the lead. He looks so good. He just looks so good. Allgaier has gotten by Byron. So we have Sammy Smith in the lead, Justin Allgaier second, or no, third, fourth William Byron, and fifth Carson Quaffle. So HMS, RCR, HMS, not HMS, Junior Motorsports, RCR, Junior Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, Junior Motorsports. I forget which team Jeb runs for. And then the 17 of Corey Day in 7th. It's a lot of Chevys at the front of the field right now. A lot of Chevys. And Austin Hill lost a few positions there, down to 17th. They definitely need to make some changes here. It's always frustrating, like when, you know, one member of a team is doing really well and then another is struggling. You're like, is the owner giving favoritism? Is this guy getting better equipment? Does he have a better crew chief? What's going on here? Like, why the disparity? So Sammy Smith able to hold the lead here, even fighting through lap traffic. Sammy Smith coming around through 3 and 4, and he's going to take stage 1. Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, Carson Quaffle, Justin Allgaier, William Byron. Carson Quaffle? got by Allgaier and Byron? No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no possible way. Well, Carson Quaffle out of nowhere. So JRM. These guys are killing it. Yeah, I mean, Quaffle was in the top 5, but I mean, I don't know if I was just not paying enough attention to the scoring, and maybe the battle between Allgaier and Byron slowed them both down enough so Carson could make the move. But I mean, these JRM guys are hooked up today, absolutely hooked up, and Jesse Love looked really good through the first 80% of that stage. First 90% of that stage, it was a lot. That was really fun. That was a really fun first stage. A lot of comers and goers. Like to see that. And then hopefully as the sun goes down, the track cools off, I'm going to see that handling flip back the other way. See even more comers and goers. Let's take a little further back through our field. Ryan Ellis 39 laps down. He didn't make it very far. Austin J. Hill 34th. LeVar Scott 32nd. Josh Balicki, the GOAT, 31st. Good to see Garrett Smith leading the field. I say that every time I see him. Chandler Smith, Daniel Dye, Brennan Poole, Rajah Caruth, not in the 88 this week, in the 32. Definitely not on the same level as the 88. Ryan and Kyle Sieg running close together. Sam Mayer. A lot of Ford converts back here. Welcome to Team Chevy. Yeah. Chevy took the win today in the IndyCar race. Penske having a great day. Joey Logano on the pole. Austin Cindric second. Blaney and Barry were both up there as well. And then Joseph Newgarden won the IndyCar race. That was very impressive. So the TV makes it look closer than it actually is. You can see the city of Avondale off in the distance where they have the State Farm Stadium, whatever they call it. State Farm Field, whatever it is, where the Cardinals play. And Phoenix is like further, I don't know which direction it is. I would say south, but Phoenix is definitely way further away than Avondale is. Even though it's, you know, it's the same city. It really is. They're in the same metro area. That is crazy. Sammy Smith cut through the field to get up to the lead, and Carson Quaffle came out of nowhere. Literally side by side, but Justin Allgaier at the line barely got by. Just insane. I'll show you guys the replay. So this is coming to the green and white flag, and back here side by side, Carson Quaffle and Justin Allgaier, and Quaffle got him right at the line. That was crazy. All right, Sammy Smith on pit road. Jesse Love also making a stop. I assume most of the leaders will come on here. Jeb Burton with a big donut on his right side door. So Jesse Love gaining a spot on pit road. Carson Quaffle also gaining a spot. Sammy Smith loses 2. Justin Allgaier stays even. Brandon Jones up 5. William Byron down 1. So definitely a lot of movement on pit road. Never know what that's going to affect. Yeah, Brandon Jones up 5. Good moves there. Oh, is Arizona Cardinal star. I don't know if you pronounce that Buddha or Buddha. Buddha Baker 3. It was just such a very unenthusiastic command. You got to go all Kevin James if you're going to do the command to start your engines. If you're going to be the Grand Marshal, you have to go all out. Give it your all. If those are your last words on earth, or regardless, you should treat them as if they are your last words on earth. You need to make people remember. Wasn't even paying attention to the broadcast, and I heard the command, and it just broke something inside of me. Maybe he's just too cool for school with the lazy command. Yeah. He's done it a few times. He did one with Adam Sandler back when they were promoting Chuck and Larry. Kevin James is awesome. If Kevin James has no supporters, I'm dead. My brain hurts so bad. I had this really weird feeling through my brain. It's the end, boys. It's over. Kyle Sieg and Ryan Sieg running next to each other. Raja, 17th. Keep an eye on him. Samir, 13th. Swalich up to 9th. Sheldon Creed also up some positions. So Brandon Jones moving up 5 positions on pit road. Definitely upset our Chevy dominance up here at the front of the field. The Toyotas have migrated back north, splitting these Chevys apart. Man, it is so weird, Haas going back to Chevy. Oh no. Rough stop for Corey Day there. Where is he going to restart? Back there in 23rd. So this is it's pack watch season. I'm not saying Corey Day is about to take out half the field, but I'm also not saying that he won't. Corey Day on his own, he has speed, but he doesn't really have the finesse yet. Don't know if he ever will have it, but him further back in the pack, he'll have more dirty air, a worse handling car, and he'll be around drivers that also have bad handling cars. So the chances of him wrecking have just gone up exponentially. If he wrecked again this week, people would have a stroke, because Corey Day, he was getting a ton of hate this week online. They did just release a Corey Day hat, so if you are a Corey Day fan for whatever reason, you can get your own 17 hat. It's a black hat with the blue 17 on it. Pretty good looking hat, not gonna lie, but I probably will not be purchasing one. Probably able to find that in the Hendrick merch trailer at the track. So you had some cars already dive down low. I'm just gonna watch that for a restart violation potentially. Is that Byron that took it really low? He's not gonna have any momentum really. 88 and the 7 really close together. You can gain some ground by shortcutting the track like that on the entry into 1, but then on the exit of 2, you're usually going to lack a lot of speed. So running down the back stretch, you're just really not going to have a great ton of pace. Sammy Smith just fell back really heavily, won the stage, and now he's back to 8th. Potentially going to lose another position here to Sheldon Creed. Another few positions, potentially. Still hasn't gathered it back up. We have guys diving all down across the track. The restarts are one of the best passing opportunities, so everyone gets while the getting's good. We had a really clean stage 1, so sometimes that means we're going to get wild in stage 2. The lights are on, so the track should start gaining a bit of grip. That is okay, Warren. Don't mention it. Don't mention it or he'll do it. That's a terrible idea. So one thing, just gonna put this out there. I wasn't gonna do merchandise. I wasn't going to. at least not anytime soon. But I'm blanking on his name right now, but the guy that called in this last week on the post-race show, he messaged me, Doug messaged me and said he wanted a hat or a sticker. I don't have a hat or a sticker, so I've made one. So anyway, I say all that to say, when the merch store goes live, there will be a link built in to the merch store where you can just donate through the web page. So we're going to be directing people over there because YouTube takes over half of the super chat. For every super chat that comes in, they get 50%. Then the government gets their cut of it too. And then you're left with the, you know, small remaining amount. It's still great to get the support, but it's going to all the wrong people. So yeah, the website will still probably take a small cut, but it'll probably just be like 0.95% or something, if I had to guess. Something small. But that may be legitimately the only way we make money off of the merch page, because I don't think we're going to sell much. Like, we'll sell like probably an initial run of a few hats, but other than that, I don't think we're going to see much movement there. But on each product, I'm not making any profit. I have it set to the minimum price for each item. So Jesse Love's still out front after grabbing our lead back. Carson Waffle second, William Byron third. Allgaier running fourth. Then we have 3 Toyotas, so 4 Chevys lined up, 3 JRM cars lined up. And then behind the JRM guys, we have 3 Gibbs guys lined up. And Sammy Smith back there at 8th, trying to fight his way through. Corey Day running 15th. He's recovered pretty well. The restart was very intense for a few laps. Byron is running 1 and 2 really low on what would be called the apron traditionally. Allgaier's in danger of getting past here. So I've heard that Allgaier, he really excels on a hot and slick track. As this track cools down, he may be losing some of his advantage. He's about to get passed here by Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz just made the pass. So drop Allgaier 1 position. Drop him back to 5th. We'll see if he can stop this slide. Golly. I don't know if you guys saw that commercial too. I was not familiar with your game, Isabella Robusto. I think she has promise. Out of the latest batch of female drivers we've had, she shows actual like race potential. And you know, Arca, with how dirty they get, it's impressive that she's able to keep it clean the majority of the time and still run well So, I mean, she definitely could develop into a race winner. I'm not sure if, you know, she'll have cup winning pace ever, but I could definitely see her picking up a win in the trucks at the bare minimum. At the bare minimum. One day, if NASCAR goes on long enough, one day we're going to have a lady that can just absolutely wheel and be a contender for a yearly win. We just haven't had that yet. And part of the reason is that not many women are interested. And then out of everyone that's interested in racing, only a 10th of a percentage actually get the opportunity. And then an even smaller group of that batch of people have the talent to actually win. And then talent doesn't get you to a good ride like it used to. You have to bring money too. So it's a complex situation. All right, Allgaier's trying to get back by Brent Cruz. They're both being held up, it looks like, by Byron. Byron could do a solid here for Allgaier. Hold Brent Cruz up for a bit. Let Allgaier mount an attack to get his position back. He can get to his door. Allgaier's going to cut the dog leg here. Come back up on track. He has the position here. Now they're side by side. Brent Cruz back in front. Allgaier's just not able to make speed through 1 and 2. Really backed up the corner there. Really backed it up. See if he... Well, he didn't get off the corner well. I think he got a little loose there. Looked like the back end stepped out. So Brent Cruz back into 4th solidly. Allgaier's going to need another lap or two to mount another charge at this. Almost got to his left rear. Depending on the line that Brent Cruz takes, Allgaier may consider running a higher groove here. Back under side-by-side coverage. Let's look back through our field real quick. Swallage 12th. Samir up to 11th. Sammy Smith, he's only recovered 1 spot since sliding back. Jesse Love's really just running away with it. Where was all that speed from Carson Quaffle in the first stage? And Sammy Smith too. The handling on some of these cars may already be going away with the temperature track change, or the track temperature change. Anthony Alfredo back to 17th, not fantastic. Raja 19th. LeVar Scott currently the first car lap down, but Joey Gase is definitely going to go a lap down. Let's see, 29, run on 29. He has a 26.1. He's running a 30. That's a whole second off the pace. Yeah, I think he's going to go a lap down. And Garrett Smithley probably going to stay on the lead lap. We'll see. We expect a caution soon. They're getting pretty racy. That's for sure. Allgaier has gotten by Brent Cruz finally. Now let's see if he can start to run down Byron. I don't think Byron's car is that good. It's interesting when they set up this 88 for the Cup guys. It's like not lights out like you would expect it to be. I love these Golden Corral commercials, not because I like them or like Golden Corral. There's none in my area. We had one for a while, but then COVID killed it. Like back when they would do the chocolate Wonderfall or whatever it was called. All those commercials. There wasn't a Golden Corral nearby. Man, Jesse Love still has our presumably Xfinity fastest lap. Sheldon Creed moving up to 7th now. Now trying to make the pass. Taylor Gray able to get back by. And he's going to get moved up the track. Jeb Burton making a run at it. Sheldon Creed wasn't able to get by. And that brought Jeb Burton back into the conversation. So now Sheldon Creed's on the outside. Jeb Burton's going to be on the inside here. Inside lane does have the disadvantage on corner exit, but they can make up some ground through the dog leg and corner entry. Really good corner there for Jeb. That was really impressive. To hold it that low and, you know, keep the speed down the backstretch. That was really impressive. Jeb actually might make the pass here. If he does exactly what he did that last lap. Jeb Burton has the position. Sheldon Creed's trying to follow him through, but he does not have the pace that Jeb Burton had there. Jeremy Clement's top 10. Good to see. You want a good pizza buffet to come back? Oh man, what we have CC's. You know, that's definitely a great place. They sent us a mailer like last week. Like, no thank you. I do like their pasta though. The pasta and the red sauce. I used to put that down. And then the like the cinnamon like apple pizza, whatever that was. That dessert pizza they have. That's really good. The pizza, I can take it or leave it. Yeah, CC's. Hey CC's, if you want to sponsor me, I'll totally plug your franchise. So Jesse Love taking stage 2, Carson Quaffle 2nd. Another good finish for Carson Quaffle. William Byron 3rd. Allgaier 4th. Allgaier fought really hard to get back by Brent Cruz there. Brent Cruz bringing up the rear in 5th. Sammy Smith 6th. Not able to recover after sliding back at least to 8th place. He slid pretty far back. Sam Mayer still in 11th. Ryan Sieg did move up quite a bit throughout that run. Corey Dade moved up a few positions really quickly, but then kind of stalled out. Austin Hill 15th there. Just not Austin Hill's day so far. Rajah 20th. Kyle Sieg 21st. Harrison Burton 23rd. Brennan Poole here. And Garrett Smithley, like we said, stayed on the lead lap. It got close. It got close at the end. Caesars is only slightly better than Little Caesar. Is it Little Caesars? Yeah, maybe. It's been ages since I've had CC, so I had no clue. I never went there for the pizza. It was just for the pasta and the dessert pizza. The one on South Parkway was the one that I always went to. The one over here, the one that still exists, I've only been there one time, I think. I didn't even know they were still open. Most of the CC's franchises have closed. I think COVID did a number on the company. Not a great day for Ryan Ellis. I went through all the effort of getting Dawson Cram's number plugged into our leaderboard, and he's returning the favor by running 37th. Disrespectful. We've had a really clean race. A really clean race. I don't go to that side of town. Not if I can help it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you were maybe saying something uptown, but yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I thought you were maybe talking about somewhere out, by the new development where the Costco is. Like there was another one I didn't know about. All right. Not really any highlights to speak of yet. Let's refresh the CW Sports page. 17 seconds ago, they already posted Jesse Love taking stage 2. Throw something on screen, a little eye candy. If there was one close to you, you'd be there a lot. That's pretty awesome. I went by the Speedway today. Down there at the south end of town. The gate was closed, so I couldn't go look at the track. But it's still there. For a few years it shut down, but they've been back open now for I guess the last 15 years at least. Yeah, I'm thinking about going there. If I ever bought a Starlink Mini, I would live stream the local short track races. I think that would be pretty fun. That's crazy. I used to have a Costco membership and I just couldn't justify it. I don't think it's meant for people that don't have families. Unless you're just going there to get the cheap pizza and hot dog. So yeah, Byron did not like the handling on that last run. The fact he just wasn't competitive from the start of that stage. Man, Byron kind of tried to block Brent Cruz there on pit exit. We'll see who gets out first. Brent Cruz has the better position on the outside. And he's going to beat Byron to the line. So William Byron going to lose 2 spots on pit road. Sam Mayer up 4. Sammy Smith losing 2. Terrible stops today. Jesse Love keeping the lead. Taylor Gray up 6 spots. A lot of movement in our top 10. A lot of movement. That was wild. How are we doing today, Doodlebug? We're doing pretty well. Tired. Pretty tired. Only got a couple hours of sleep last night. I slept for a couple hours and I woke up and I thought to myself, I'm awake. I should probably go live. And so I streamed Doom the Dark Ages last night and I finished the game. I beat the game. It was a ton of fun. It was awesome. Those last few missions are just a blast. And we did that. Then I just went and did a bunch of stuff this morning. We streamed the IndyCar race. First time we've ever streamed an IndyCar race. And now I'm here. It's been a busy day with not a lot of sleep. And my throat is killing me. But we persist. While we're under commercial, I'm going to go ahead and step away. I'll leave you guys with Twitter playing. We have returned. What happened? Problem on Allgaier stop? Yeah, he did. I guess he did fall out of the top 10. I didn't see him on that pit exit. Where is he? 21st. Stick a fork in him. He's done. Golly. I mean, if anyone can come back from this, it's Justin, but he'll have to have a special set of circumstances. We probably have 1 pit stop in this stage. I could see a big string of cautions. I really could. Raja 18th, Corey Day 16th. What are the junior motorsports guys doing today? Weren't able to hold the lead after stage 1 for Sammy Smith. Carson Qualva losing spots. Sammy Smith lost 2 spots on that last stop again. And then now this one. Hey, it's good to have you. C&D boy 6646. Mr. 66. That's what we'll call you. Good to have. Whoa, the lap counter broke for a second on the broadcast. Unless I'm crazy. No, it just maybe looked odd. Going from 101 to 100. I thought it jumped to 199. Marion, good to have you. Good to have you. Let's pull open our leaderboard here and just look how they come back out. Yeah, Justin here. And where is Austin Hill running? Did he finally gain some spots? 14th, that's around the best he's run all race. That's where he peaked out in stage 1, I believe. So we're working back in the right direction. His teammate, though, has dominated this race so far. Aside from the very end of stage 1 where Sammy Smith went up there and just absolutely stole it from him. Very impressive run in stage 1. Stage 2 was not very good for Sammy Smith. And his pit crew can't figure it out, so he has a lot to overcome here. Sam Mayer up to 7th. Sheldon Creed 6th. That's impressive. I wouldn't mind seeing a Sam Mayer win. Unless they made a big adjustment. I don't think he has the pace, though. We're 4 wide. Oh, we are 4 wide. Several rows throughout the field. We stay green somehow. Oh my goodness, these guys are close. This is crazy. Byron's falling outside the top 5, trying to battle his way back to the inside of Sam Mayer. Sammy Smith 3 wide with 2 Toyotas. They are all over each other. So Sawalich up to 7th. I think that's the best he's run today. Started in the mid-teens. He was further back. Moved his way up through the field, I guess. Where is Allgaier? 19th currently. Have I watched any modern kid shows recently? No, I wouldn't say so. Marion says the 88 wins. That would be interesting. I mean, back in the day, if a cup guy was in the field, they were pretty much a guaranteed, winner. But I just don't really think that 88 car is prepared very well for these one-off events. Even back when HMS was preparing the 17 for one-off events for guys like Elliott Larson, Byron Bowman, it just didn't run well. Mr. Shelley. Now, I have not watched modern kid shows. He has. King definitely has. Ooh. They're still 3 wide. The 19 and the 18 are getting all in each other's way. So Sammy Smith able to get by both of them. Moves Sammy Smith back up to 7th. Man, 3 Toyotas stacked up. 19, 18, 20. They're out of order numerically. Can we I'm watching on my antenna, so I like, and also I can't legally broadcast it, but Marion, you can watch the battle cam on the CW website or app. It's completely free for the future. If you have antenna in your area, you can get an antenna for like $15 at Walmart. You can pull in the CW for free and watch the whole O'Reilly Auto Parts season through the off season, or through the season. And if you don't have that, then you can watch the stream hypothetically on a website called dd12streams.com. Allegedly. I've never seen it, never checked it out myself, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, I'm a big antenna guy. Whenever there's a race that's on broadcast television, I will watch on antenna because it's less delayed. Even though YouTube TV is not too far off today. It's like maybe 10 seconds back. Sheldon Creed trying to move up, make a move on Taylor Gray. Whenever I'm talking about Taylor or Tanner, I have to think for a second. Who is this? Sheldon Creed trying to make a move. Most of the passing has been done on the inside. But it is so hard to maintain your speed down the backstretch if you run really shallow through 1 and 2. Jason said, hope everyone's doing well. Heading to pick up fiance Trisha, heading to hospital. Oh my goodness. He said her dad is in the hospital dying. Can everyone please say a prayer for him? Thank you. That is that's a very heavy comment there, Jason. Definitely hope things work out. Definitely believe in prayer and the comfort it can bring. So that's definitely a good idea. Mayor looks like a Reddit or Discord mod trading. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, it's tough. Hospital's not a fun place to be. Ah, so C&D boy. So it's Canadian boy. That's what it means. Well, thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you. Glad to have you. We go live for pretty much every NASCAR race, ARCA race. We didn't go live Thursday because I was asleep. But we went live for the IndyCar race today, too. That's very nice of you, Marion. Very nice of you. Glad Jason felt like he could come here and share that with us. I think we have a bunch of really nice people here. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a tough position to be in, you know, having a relative in the hospital. Because, you know, when it gets to that point, there's not really much you can do as a person other than spectate That's difficult. I think the two most traumatic things possible both happen in the hospital. You're born. That's extremely traumatic, being born. And then number two, a lot of people end up, you know, leaving this mortal coil in the hospital. And so I feel like there's a lot of dark emotions about the hospital. And I've been to the hospital so many times for people passing away. My dad used to go visit members of the church every week in the hospital. And so I've been there a bunch. Been there for family, been there for pretty much strangers. And one day I'll probably be there too. In a not great place. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. That's such a kind comment. And yeah, we'll definitely be thinking about you. And just to like cover, you know, this base, if you're not here for the stream tomorrow, which, you know, traditionally you are, I'm always glad to see you. Completely understand it. We'll be here whenever you and your fiance have worked through this whole situation. Whichever way it goes, we'll be here. Have I seen any Disney Junior shows recently? Not any Disney. I haven't watched TV, period. Other than sporting events. That's the only TV I watch. Thank you, Doodlebug. That's a nice comment. That's a nice comment. Yeah, it's good to have you, Canadian boy. We have a few people from Canada that stop in every once in a while. And then we have some people from overseas. We have some UK people, Australia. Just a bunch of random countries that'll pop into the chat. It's always good to have our international brethren. Especially if we're here to bond over, you know, motorsports. $75 to go. So we're 25 laps into this stage. That's around when the handling started to go away on some of these cars in stage 1. Patrick Staropoli on pit road. I have to imagine that's an unscheduled stop. F1 first race later. I've heard a lot about F1 this year already. About the new car, about all the changes they made, about going to Apple TV. It's a lot. Oh, no kidding. I have a friend that's at the race. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so cool. That is so cool. So I have a friend out that lives out in Phoenix, and she's there for years. She didn't even know Phoenix had a racetrack, which, I mean, technically Phoenix doesn't. I think that address is Avondale, but it's the Phoenix metro area. She didn't know it existed. And so I was like, you need to go to the race. So finally she got around to it. That's awesome. That is so cool. That makes me happy. I know I've bored plenty of people, plenty of my friends in real life, just talking about racing, talking about NASCAR, whatever. But whenever I can, I share the sport as much as I can. And if I can help somebody get to the track for the first time, that is my goal, because that is enough usually to change most people's minds. They may not tune in and week out, but they will have a new perspective and say, oh, I get it. I see the appeal. That definitely was a unique experience. So I'm big about that. Happy to see Haley back racing the ARCA series. She did great. Yeah, that's okay to say. I feel like a lot of the women get pushed up too quickly. And that goes for a lot of young talent, but specifically for the women, because they have so much attention on them that there are unfair expectations that are set. I think a lot more drivers in the lower series need more time to improve. And if you go up to the Xfinity series and you don't do well, you wreck out a lot, drop back down, go back down to trucks. If you make it to Cup and you suck and you're, running for a back marker, maybe look at going back to Xfinity or O'Reilly Auto Parts series. I'm going to call it Xfinity forever. You have definitely been to a race. I can verify that. I feel like one of the examples of someone that was really rushed was Kyle Busch at Hendrick when he got there, because he got kicked out right when he started winning. A big part about Kyle is he could run fast on certain weeks, but he couldn't be consistent about it. And then when the COT was introduced, that even though he hated the car, he was really good in it. And that was his peak, his peak years right after he left Hendrick. But one very specific example, Casey Atwood. If you can remember back that far, Casey Atwood was had a ton of promise. People thought that he could be the next Jeff Gordon, and he just got put into a good opportunity too early. I think another victim of that is maybe JJ Yaley. They rushed his development. He was in the 18 for a very short period of time before they made room for Kyle Busch. Many, many such cases. So yeah, I think that's really good. Really good for Haley to drop back down. And I think even though she didn't do very well racing over in the Indy Next series, or whatever it was called, the Indy NXT or whatever. That's a WWE brand, but even though she didn't set the world on fire over there, I think that's good experience to have, to branch out into other motorsports. I think one of the most beneficial things a driver could do is probably go drive an open wheel, like a sprint car, and just learn how to manhandle that thing around the track. Yeah, no trucks this weekend. That's right. They're off this week. If the truck series would stop going to, the big tracks every race they go to, and maybe save that for some special occasions, only on certain occasions go to a, NASCAR track that the Cup races at, and go to more short tracks, I think that would be cool. If NASCAR had more of a dedicated short track series, because they would pack those places out. Imagine the truck series at Five Flags. I don't think they have, although they definitely don't have the facilities for it. Trust me on that. I've sat on their cinder block bleachers, and My tailbone has never been the same. But it would be really fun. Or like Nashville Fairgrounds Truck Series there on Friday night. Friday night trucks. That's my favorite. Imagine Friday night under the lights, Nashville Fairgrounds. That would be electric. Yeah, get the trucks back on dirt. It's a shame that they are no longer going to Eldora. That was always a really fun race. Eldora's, really wide dirt track. With, you can run really low through the corners. You can arc it down. There's just so many things you can do. That's a really fun track. And Tony did a great job of just coming in and being a track operator. Sometimes there are dirt tracks you go to where the track isn't maintained very well and it's either too wet or it's too dry. And it seemed like they always try to keep it about the same. And I think they did a good job there. Austin Hill back to 18th. I think he restarted 14th, which is where Anthony Alfredo is. Raja's in 15th. That's about the best he's been all day. Corey Day up to 12th. Byron's staying about where he has been throughout the run. So is Sam Mayer. Byron's trying to get by him, but he's stuck right now behind lap traffic. But now Sam Mayer's kind of getting blocked. He's going to be the inside here with not a great run. Byron's going to have a big advantage here, but nowhere to go with it. Nowhere to go. So Byron's going to have to try to follow him through. He's not going to make it. He's actually going to end up losing ground to Brent Cruz. I'm expecting one more pit stop this stage. So in the next 15 laps, maybe, we'll probably see green flag stops. How come Cletus was not racing the ARCA race? Cletus is not full-time in ARCA. I don't think he has the sponsorship to do that every week. Even though, like, you would think with all the, his popularity, he could get a sponsor that would sign on for the full year. I think it's partially that he probably has other things he needs to be doing that he's not full-time in ARCA. Like, maybe he wants to be with his family. Maybe he wants to run his own Enterprises YouTube channel. Oh, hey, no, we're here to hang out and talk NASCAR, talk about the race, talk about NASCAR news, anything racing, random stuff about Disney Junior. We're all over the place here. So yeah, I'm more than okay with questions. It helps keep the conversation going. I meant to go to the restroom during the last commercial, but they came back when I was about to go. I'm going to try to step away here. So my question for you guys in the chat is, are we going to get a caution for reason? Is someone going to wreck before the end of this stage? Because we're almost halfway through with this and we haven't really had an incident yet. Name 5 colors. Like, name them. Name 1 Jim, 1 Jeff, 1 Greg, 1 Dale. Do it for Dale. And I'll name 1 Rusty. Dude, I love Shaquille O'Neal. I saw a lot of Shaquille O'Neal stuff today, actually. I was at an antique store. They had a lot of Shaquille O'Neal merchandise. I see Shaq everywhere I go. Office Depot, you see him in Walmart, you see him everywhere. That's a man who knows how to invest and what to invest in. All right, Sawalich is on pit road. So I see our green flag pit stops have started. I like this call to short pit here. I really like it. You're gonna suffer late in the run, but track position is key in NASCAR. It doesn't matter what level. Track position matters a ton. And short pitting a lot of times will gain you a few positions. Denny's been your favorite driver for years. We have a ton of Denny fans here. There's actually one guy whose name is Denny Hamlin fan or Denny fans or something. I'm subscribed to him on here. I see him post some good shorts. Yeah, and then our buddy, King and our buddy, he claims Denny Hamlin as his driver. Yeah, ton of, which is crazy. I never would have expected Denny would have a ton of fans. And just before really the last few years, you didn't really hear much about him, even though he was a good driver. He's been good since his first year in Cup. One of the best rookie seasons I've ever seen. But he was just around. You know, Kyle Busch at Joe Gibbs Racing was taking more of the attention. And now, you know, Denny's the guy. And he definitely has a ton of support. And I think being the owner of Bubba Wallace's team, Tyler Reddick's team, you know, 2311, partnered with MJ, I think that's gotten him a lot of notoriety. And then being involved in the lawsuit. Carson Quaffle coming down pit road right now. That is a sharp looking one car. Have I seen Denny delivers videos? I have. Take Kyle Larson over Denny Hamlin. I don't want to give off the wrong impression, but I'm not like Kyle Larson's not my favorite guy. I just like NASCAR ads. I did see Kyle Larson. I think the first race I saw him in was 2009, I believe. And it would have been a nationwide race. It could have been 2010. But I saw him there. And even though he didn't, I don't think he finished the race well. He ran very well, moved through the field. And I just remember thinking that guy has a ton of potential. And so it's cool to be proven right, even though it took like 2 decades. Almost 2 decades. For this race, you would like to see Rajah win? I would be okay with that. I think he's a cool guy. He is in the lead right now. Even though he has hit pit road. Gonna lose the lead here. I would like to see him run better in the 32. That way his races in the 88 will be, there'll be less pressure. And I think he's in the 88 for all of the last 10 races of the season, or however long the chase is. So if he can make the chase, if he can point his way in, he has an equal shot to make it as the other JRM guys. You want Byron to win in every race? Yeah. I don't know if he has the pace today. Jesse Love looks like the guy still. But Sheldon Creed short pitting has cycled to the lead. So Jesse Love is going to have to get by Carson Quaffle and Sam Mayer, who are both competitive cars, who are running top 10 before this pit, set a run of pit stops. And then we also have to keep an eye out for maybe in the next 10, 15 laps. If we get another caution, do you stay out or do you come in? This is the nervous time, but this is also the time where these pit crew guys make their money. Good strategy calls can secure a win. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it, is avoiding the crashes. You know, you hear it said a lot on broadcast, to develop as a driver, you need seat time. And to get seat time, the car has to be on track. So if you crash out of a race in stage 1, you're not going to get much experience. Like Cletus in the truck race at Daytona. It was like lap 5 or something. He crashed. And it may not have been that early, but it was pretty early on. He crashed and just didn't get seat time that day. It was a missed opportunity. So I'm all for younger guys, inexperienced guys running towards the back, just keeping it clean for the sake of logging laps. And then if you get more comfortable later in the race, maybe then you go for it. But you need to learn what your car can do before you really just go all out. You'd love to see an SVG win tomorrow? That would be interesting. I'm really interested to see how he's going to do tomorrow, because he did really well the first 2 races. Then Circuit of the Americas almost got it. What's wrong? I don't notice anything. Yes, to get experience is not to wreck the car. That is exactly right. You can get away with a little bit more in a NASCAR stock car, but you should definitely try to keep it clean. Yeah, he definitely did do better. I think last week was his best race so far, from his Talladega starts, Daytona starts, and his Bristol start. Cameras, we had to focus for a bit. That's all right. He's just having a stroke. The webcam just auto focuses. So if I like up here, it didn't see. I have no control over the focus. It has its own mind. Well, the 45's around. We're under caution. Wow. Wow. Okay, so they just pit like 10 laps ago for some of these guys. Sheldon Creed might be over 10 laps in. Do you pit here for tires? And will this be the last caution? Cautions can breed cautions. It's exactly what we were talking about. Exactly. I was saying that caution could come out in the next 10 to 15 laps. Less than 10 laps later, bang, caution. Crazy. LeVar Scott around. Carson Quaffle was strong on that last run, and his tires are not that much older than Jesse Love's, maybe a lap older. Sam Mayer about the same. But Jesse Love most likely going to restart in that second row, and how they can fan out 4 and 5 wide here. Jesse Love could make a move for the lead on this next restart if they don't pit. And if they do pit, he may get out first. He's had good pit stops all day. Where's Sammy Smith? 12th? His sorry pit crew. They just haven't done a great job today. You know, big mistake on Justin Allgaier's stop. He would be probably up there in the top 5 right now. And he's moved back up. And this restart will help him potentially gain a few more spots. Maybe get him back in contention. What a great day for the 51. Jeremy Clements. What a great day. On speed. Completely on speed. That's huge. Joey Gase up there. That's really cool to see. Alfredo just hanging around, you know. He'll be racing for Hendrick tomorrow. And the Hendrick driver, Corey Day, right behind him. Austin Hill 19th, just a mediocre day for Austin Hill. Not bad. And in the grand scheme of things, the season-long points, or it's not quite season-long, but it's a 20-something races during the regular season before the chase begins. So in this chase format, even if you have a 19th place day, if you're not finishing 35th, it wasn't a terrible day. Like, sure, you didn't do great. You didn't get stage points. You're not going to get good points at the end of the race, but you're also not going to have a disastrous day where you earn 2 points. So, like, grand scheme of things, this probably isn't a terrible deal for Austin Hill, but it does mean that they really need to focus up for when we come back in the fall, if they want a good run there. USA takes the lead in the World Baseball Classic versus Great Britain. That's crazy. They better win. Baseball is an interesting sport when it comes to international competition, because you think the United States would just murder every time. But there are other countries that put together some really good teams, and Japan is one of them. The playing field is definitely evened up. But it's also not really super fair whenever it's an American sport that we're playing internationally, because for years, for the majority of men's hockey existence in the Olympics, the United States hasn't allowed NHL players to play, or NHL hasn't allowed their players to play in the Olympics. That's a very small period of time where our best players have been able to actually go out there and try to win gold. Before, it was amateurs, so it was college players out there going against the Soviet Union. So I'm not up to date with the World Baseball Classic, who's actually participating, but the MLB preseason doesn't start for like another week or so, right? So oh no, we have some spring training games going on already. I knew the Grapefruit League was going because they released a bunch of hats. It's just the standard team hat, but with a grapefruit on it. I don't know if the Cactus League has a hat made for it. I didn't see any. I'm sure they do, though. MLB opening day. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of opening day being later in March. So yeah, I don't think there'd be MLB guys playing in that. So I wouldn't fault them if they lost. Jack says Clements in 5th on merit without needing a lucky break. Perfectly timed caution, pit strategy, fuel strategy. What a night so far for the little team that could. I can't agree more. Very impressive run. Very impressive run so far. I accidentally closed the leaderboard. So let me pull this up here before we get back green. So you have LeVar Scott getting run through right here. That's Alfredo behind him. Giving him perhaps a little help here. Not a crazy hit. With this composite body, he'll probably be fine. As long as the steering's not damaged. Locked it down pretty good. Glancing blow against the wall. Not too bad. The IndyCar race was really fun today. I forget his name. But we had a guy go around in the exact same place, and he flipped it around backwards like Kyle Busch would, and kept it going, kept it out of the wall. It was very impressive. Am I going to watch Cars 1 on June 9th? Oh, is it the re-release? Maybe. Maybe. That might be something fun to do. Maybe I could find a way to make content out of that. Sheldon Creed, temporarily to the lead. Sam Mayer is trying to make a run on the inside. Sam Mayer is going to block the inside. Jesse Love was making a move there. They need to settle this. Jesse Love's going to pass both of them. So they have some Haas guys up front. I like seeing them run well. Now, especially now that they're in a Chevy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The 20th anniversary. That's what I was referring to. I was wondering if they were re-releasing it for the anniversary. They did a 20th anniversary celebration at the Daytona 500. Oh my goodness, we have a massive caution. William Sawalich, his day's done. We are back under caution. Cautions breed cautions. Alex Palou lost his points lead for the first time since 2024. Laguna Seca. Dennis Hauger. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Are they putting it back in the movie theaters? Because sometimes they'll do that for anniversaries. I don't guess so. But if you have enough money, you can rent out a movie theater and play it yourself. I've done that a couple times. That was a waste of money. So celebrations kicking off April 7th, 2026, running through summer 27. Kind of surprised it's not getting a re-release. They've been doing that to a lot of films lately. Someone's saying they are doing... So Google's AI could be lying to me, but they're saying they are doing a re-release. But that could be a lie. Here's an Instagram post announcing a re-release. If it was in the theater, I would probably go see it. I live really close to a theater. They're definitely going to re-release in-game before Doomsday comes out later this year in December. I want to know if they're going to do one of those marathons again, where they do all the Marvel movies, but there may be too many now to do that, because that would go on for like 3 days at this point. And it was like 24 hours at one point. Now it's a long time. So they may do a marathon where it's all the Avengers movies. So you'd have like Avengers, you'd have Age of Ultron. I guess Endgame was next, maybe. Civil War might be thrown in there too. Wedge that one in. And then have... in-game. Oh, yeah, Infinity. I don't know. There's 20,000 Marvel movies. I've lost count. I don't keep up as much anymore. But I'm going to be watching Doomsday. Definitely going to be watching that. But I've heard some leaks of the script, and I don't like it. Because they kill off someone that I enjoy watching on screen. Yeah, Google's AI is not great. 35 laps left. Come on, Creed. Go get win number 2. I'd be okay with seeing a Haas guy win. Jesse Love's just been so dominant. I'd like to see someone else get up there and win. I don't know if Clements has the race winning pace, but that would be a good story. Carson Quafflet would be cool to see him get up there. He's ran really well at points throughout this race. Austin Hill up to 13th. That's the best he's run all day. And William Byron's in 12th. What happened? My goodness. And you put Jeremy Clements in the 24 car. This race is going to wrap up at the perfect time. My voice is about to completely give out. Yeah, so Walsh's night is for sure done. All right, they're going back to commercial. I'm actually going to step away this time. Golly. My voice. So we don't have a replay yet of what just happened. We do have a replay of the last restart, which was really cool. Look at him go 3 and 4 wide back through the pack. Absolutely insane. Here we go. This is our replay. I'm the first like. Let's go. They tweeted it out 6 seconds ago. Let's take a look at this. So Brandon Jones. I mean, is that more on him or is that on his teammate? That's crazy that the Gibbs guys get together and absolutely crumples 2 Gibbs cars. Oh, that was Sammy Smith down there. Okay. Sammy Smith gets into him. Taylor Gray piles in. Sawalich also getting damaged. So 3 Gibbs guys involved there. That is crazy. Man, he almost had it saved too. Check that out. What? That is a great angle. He has the wheel all the way to the right. He's in the gas. He's in the gas. And the 54 just gets in there. 18 tries to check up. Gets run over. Little contact there for the 31 as well, but nothing too major. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Okay, so Brandon Jones did come down the track. You see him up there, but he's angled really sharp in. I don't know if he's expecting Sammy Smith to run all the way down like on the first groove of the apron, but he comes down the track. You see him come down below the painted line. And let's watch Sammy Smith's line. Like, he's also going down, just not as fast. So Brandon Jones just took himself out. I'm not going to put... From this angle, it looks bad. It looks bad for Sammy Smith. Like, oh, yeah, he just took him out. But when you look at it from the above view, Brandon Jones came down the track and damaged 3 Gibbs cars, which had run pretty well all day. That's crazy. What a turn of events. See what you guys have to say. Will I buy Pixar Cars diecast this year? I mean, if there was the right one. I don't go to Walmart a lot, which is where I would probably find them. I don't really go to any store a lot. I just get my stuff delivered now. Too much traffic. Justin Newgarden is IndyCar points leader. That is right. Thank you, Canadian boy. Thank you for the kind words. Top 5 tonight for Jeremy Clements and his team. Jeremy Clements Racing would feel like a 3rd O'Reilly win for them. That would be really cool. I like seeing the small teams get up there and dice it up, because it shows like these guys can prepare a car and they also have a driver that can get it done. So you have Joe Gibbs, you have Rick Hendrick, you have the Junior Motorsports guys, which are basically Rick Hendrick. So if you're competing with them, and Haas has a partnership with Hendrick, so you basically have 7 Hendrick cars in the field. Want to see Rajah finish top 10? That would be a pretty huge move if he could. Gonna have to move up a bit more. Looking a little more doable now. He could possibly pick off Austin Hill, maybe Alfredo. So really, I mean, he has some guys he could get around here, but how hard is he going to race Corey Day? I know they're not teammates, but they kind of are. Both signed with the same organization. No, I don't believe they're a factory team. I think you're right on that. Yeah, that's really impressive when you see a guy have a bad qualifying in practice, because they have really short practice sessions nowadays. It's not hours like we used to get per weekend, where we had an initial practice, a final practice, and perhaps a happy hour. Nowadays, it's just a very short session. So if you have a problem, if you miss the setup when you unload, you can make maybe 1 or 2 adjustments, and then you have to go back out and run more practice time, and maybe you don't get it figured out. So to make those adjustments and for it to finally come around during the race is really impressive, especially when it's a race that goes from daylight to darkness, where the track changes so much. Because that shows that you planned ahead and you are planning for the end of the race, which is really smart. Or you just made it work somehow, which they are right now. But Jesse Love and Carson Quaffle, two hungry dogs. If these guys fight too hard, what they need to do is somehow get single file and then decide the race between themselves if they can. The last restart was pretty good. They were kind of packing up the field, blocking pretty well, but they were keeping Jesse Love and Carson Quaffle really close. Mayor's going to the inside, Sheldon Creed outside. Jesse Love also inside. Going to try to take him 3 wide here. Carson Quaffle outside. Allgaier also outside. Ryan Sieg up there in row 4. Normally when I see Ryan Sieg run well, I ask myself, what's going to go wrong? Because I think he has some of the worst luck in this series. So I don't want to, you know, speak it into existence, but watch out. Larson in the 88 at Las Vegas. Larson double duty. That could go well. I could see that going well for him. But it's just hard to beat those Penske guys at Las Vegas, especially when the race is sponsored by Pennzoil. It's just, they're lights out. But Barry did last year, I guess. But he's technically a Penske guy, so the point still remains. Man, you can see the rear end on Allgaier's car moving around quite a bit. I don't know if that's just the body roll or if they just, you know, have certain track bar settings to allow that. That it just looks like a ton of movement. Dogleg, yeah, he could go 7 wide. It's possible. 4 wide. We're looking at a possible 5 wide here. Sheldon Creed around on the high side. Same air behind him, going to push him through. But Jesse Love is on the inside, diving it down. Carson Quaffle is going to take Mare up the track, and Jesse Love's going to move into second. Allgaier into third. The complexion of this race has changed drastically. Drastically. We're holding on here. I totally agree. Chevy up front, baby. Which really, the Gibbs guys are the biggest competition to the Chevys. And they all got taken out in that last caution. Sheldon Creed does not have the pace. Jesse Love has the lead. Allgaier is going to have a run at this. If Austin Hill could... not Austin Hill. If Justin Allgaier could pull this off, it would be crazy. I was wondering if Creed got into the wall. It looked really close. Yeah, no track limits here. What I like doing is I like going back to the old games when Phoenix still had grass and still running the dog leg. The car just takes off over the curb. It's crazy. But you can do it. Carson Quaffle needs to make this pass yesterday. Allgaier is really pressuring. Come on. Come on, give him the chrome horn. Allgaier is too clean of a driver. He's not going to do it intentionally. But he should. Allgaier has pace. Allgaier has pace. Jesse Love's loose. Allgaier to the lead. He was clear for a second. Love's going to dive it down in here. Not able to get back to his quarter panel. Allgaier clear to the lead. Oh my goodness. With 10 laps to go, Allgaier has taken the lead. Oh my goodness. Now, we have to see if Carson Quaffle can get clear here. He will get clear. Sheldon Creed sliding it around. This is crazy. We're getting wild back to the back, and a caution could change everything. Just watch out. We could still get a late race caution. Where's Raj at? 11th. Not bad. Not bad. Austin Hill also in 10th. He's closing it out. He was. Brent Cruz still out there. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, even after receiving some damage for a couple of those guys under the last caution. Allgaier is in the lead, but Love's keeping him close. All right, Love did not have a great corner there. Allgaier got a little more distance. Love's just able to drive it in so deep. He almost took out Allgaier. If I'm Allgaier, if Love gets by me here, by shoving me up the track, I am right hooking him into the wall. I don't care about next week. I'll sit next week. That was such an aggressive entry into turn 3. If he had shoved him up the track there, I would have been mad. I would have been really mad. He gets in so hard, but because he drives into the corner so deep, he's not able to get the drive off. So it's this slinky effect. Allgaier get a really big run down the straightaway, backs it down in the corner to have a really safe entry. Love powers it in. Allgaier gets the run off, and Love can't follow. You bet your friend $10 Raja would make a top 10. You are right on the edge of being right. He took Sammy Smith for the win. That was a good pick earlier in the race, but Sammy Smith's pit crew let him down, and I don't know if they kept up with the handling on that race car to have race-winning speed. He's still running good laps, but he's a full 10th off, almost 2 tenths off of our leader right now. Jesse Love is keeping Allgaier really close, reeled him back in that last lap. 5 laps to go now, 4 laps to go. 16 more corners. $14 more corners. Carson Quaffel's closing in. Carson Quaffel could seal this win for Allgaier if he could somehow catch up. If he could catch up to Jesse Love and make him start running a defensive line, that would seal the deal for Allgaier. Jesse Love is cutting that dog leg so hard right now, trying to gain ground. Who knows? I mean, Allgaier's like not running off with this thing. He took the lead so convincingly, it looked like he would drive off, but Love's kept him so close. So maybe potentially his car was starting to get loose, and this dirty air might have helped him, but he hasn't closed back up yet. Almost took him out a few laps ago. Yeah, I don't think Sammy's going to close this one out unless there's a caution here really late. Jesse Love's going to make one more run at this next lap and possibly going to turn Allgaier. Just watch out for this. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Into turn 1. He's about 4 car lengths back. Out of turn 2. Not close enough. Not close enough, unless he just absolutely murdered him. Allgaier out of 4. Yeah, I can't believe it. Justin Allgaier takes the win at Phoenix. I can't believe it. What a race. That was a really fun race. I don't know if it was as good as the IndyCar race, but that was a really fun race. Comers and goers, guys up and down all day through the pit strategy, through their setups being off, the transition from the daylight to the night. That was just a ton of fun. Phoenix needs to be a night race. The Cup used to have a Phoenix night race, and it was awesome. And now we don't. So maybe we bring back the Phoenix night race. That was really fun. That was really, really fun. Austin Hill, a good salvage to the day. Rajah Caruth 8th. You did it, Canadian boy. You did it. You did it, dude. You got the bet. That's crazy. So Austin Hill dropped there at the very end, and Alfredo did as well. And that let Rajah by. And Corey Day went with him. So pseudo teammates there working together. Byron had a horrible day. Like, stage 1 was all right. Stage 2 was all right. Stage 3, they fell apart. I don't know what happened. Maybe he's just awful. William Byron's a fraud. He was exposed here in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, where the true champions race. This literally is the Chevy series. That's what I should just call it instead of saying O'Reilly. What a race. What a great day here at Phoenix. The IndyCar race was really fun. And it was really fun watching a race that didn't have stage breaks. And then the Xfinity race was just, a blast. I hope the Cup car can somehow pull out this good of a race and not just a good finish. Because if you remember last year, both Cup races were decided by less than a tenth of a second. So they were both like finish line wins. So it could be fun tomorrow. It could be fun. Depending on the tire they bring. If it's the same tire we have from the fall, where it has a ton of fall off and occasional tire failures, it could be a controversial race. We'll see. Just, I don't know. The Cup race should definitely be a night race. Should definitely be a night race. Canadian Boy says Rajah's his guy. He's going to win one soon. He's had good runs in the 88 when he's been in the 88. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for him. If he can make it into the chase, he has a shot at the championship. He does, because he'll be in the JRM 88 for every race during the chase season. So keep an eye out for him. Always enjoyed checking out Haley and Cletus to see how they're doing when they're on track. Yeah, it's fun to check in with some of the younger guys and gals and part-timers. Man, Jesse Love did have a great day. He had a great day, and Allgaier went up there. The wily veteran stole it from him. He's going to win in front of his family. That's crazy. Allgaier really didn't have winning pace all day. He had top 5 pace, but he just went up there and grabbed that win. Amazing. Amazing. Jesse Love ran a faster last lap, but about a half second off the pace there at the end. Just not close enough. And Quaffle ran a faster lap than both of them. This is one that got away for Quaffle, and Sammy Smith ran very well, but just didn't put together stage 3, and his team let him down on the pit stops. Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed both getting a really good finish. Good to see that for the Haas guys. Jeremy Clements 11th, just missing out on a top 10. He had top 5 pace at times. We already talked about Byron. That was disappointing. Let's look back towards the end of the field. Swalich off. So Dawson Cram gaining another spot there at the very end. LeVar Scott, not a great race. A lot of guys finishing one lap down. Daniel Dye, Chandler Smith, Austin Green, Harrison Burton, Kyle Sieg, Brennan Poole too. That's rough to see. And we are going to get a victory lane interview, draping the American flag over the windshield of the car. Kind of suspect. I like it. But it looks like they're covering something up to hide it from NASCAR officials. That looks a little suspect. Very cool, though. I wish more teams would do that. Throw the American flag on the hood. Throw up the set. You know what I'm saying? We need some patriotism right about now. Canadian Boy says, was Paralympics hockey, baseball, and basketball? We haven't covered other sports yet. I've considered it, but I don't really just want to sit here and like not have some kind of a graphic up. And I know how to make a leaderboard. I don't know how to make a game cast for football or a baseball tracking thing. And maybe that information's out there and we could branch out into that. What I would really like to do is cover some college football. But the problem is later in the season, the Xfinity races conflict with the college football games pretty much every single week. So that's tough. But I would love to branch out. I'd love to do different kinds of stuff. But primarily we're motorsports. We do primarily NASCAR, ARCA, but we branched out into Indy today. I tried to do IMSA, but their data is not publicly accessible, so I can't do the IMSA races. And we also do like gaming stuff, gaming content, tons of gaming stuff throughout the week. Sometimes NASCAR. I do like to do that, but my version on PC has been crashing a lot lately, so we haven't done that. Or I would have done a 100% race this weekend. But we may get back into that. I may switch back to PlayStation 5 and just run it on there and hook up my wheel. And then we'll get back to doing some NASCAR stuff. Yeah, I love the Victory Lane interview. It's great. What a fun race, guys. We're going to wrap it up here, but we will be back live tomorrow for the Cup race, so I hope to see you guys then. And also, tomorrow after the Cup race, we're going to be doing our post-race show. So if you guys are new here, you'll have an opportunity to text or call in and share your thoughts live tomorrow after the Cup race. So I hope to see you guys then. And until next time, hope you guys have a good one. Thank you, Michael, for being here. Canadian boy. Jack. King is Dead was in here a bunch. Doodlebug was in here a lot. Dr. Derp was in here for a bit. Good to see all of you guys. Miriam was in here a bunch. Stacy was in here. Jason, if you're hearing this live, or if you're hearing this later, I hope everything's going well with your fiance and her father, or as well as it can. And I hope you guys are definitely comforted in this time. And I hope to see you guys here tomorrow. That's about all I have. So I'll see you guys on the next one. If you hang out here in the chat, if you just wait, once I end the stream, it should try to send you over to the Y files. If you haven't seen the Y files before, it's my favorite YouTube channel. I highly recommend you stay for at least one whole episode. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to send you guys over there, and maybe I'll see you in the chat. So